Biting finish once again today in the third match. Even though KKR won by 10 runs, the match was much more closer. To discuss all about it, I have my analyst Charvi as well as Sahil, and then I'm joined by Drew Young fans. Welcome to all of you guys.
Hi, Anis
Thank
uncle.
you. Hi.
Hello,
Hi,
everyone.
everyone.
First of all, my
Hello.
apologies because there was some issue with my internet, but now everything has been sorted out. First, let me come to Chavi. What would you like to say about KKR's performance overall?
I think there was an exceptional performance. Some of the batsmen they really outdid themselves. Good top scoring. Everybody contributed, if not massively, at with tits and bits here and there. That added up to the total, and it was a very good total on this track. For to put in for Sunrisers Hyderabad to chase. Though Sunrisers Hyderabad did have a good batting lineup, but it was the mammoth of a total. So good performance overall from KKR.
All right, Sahil, you are a big KKR fan. What do you think actually was special about KKR today?
Well, obviously, the two standouts were Rahul Tripathi and Nitish Rana. Both played brilliantly. Rahul Tripathi supported Nitish Rana really well by scoring quick runs. And obviously, after Shubman getting out, Nitish Rana led from the front. And then KKR also started off well with the ball, getting two big wickets of Warner. And I forgot the other one. But they also came back after, getting the wicket of Bairstow. They slowed it down. That's how, KKR won the game in the end.
I guess you are watching your football match today. That's why you don't remember the wicketkeeper batsman who got out.
Ridhman Saha, my bad.
That happens. Anyway, let me welcome Salman, big friend of, rather best friend of Nitish Rana. Your friend went on to win the man of the match.
Yes, he did. He played amazing knock, and his bhai Nitish Rana was exceptional today. He built a very constructive innings, and he was all over the place on the onside, on the offside. I felt initially he was trying way too hard with his reverse sweeps and the odd shots, but he managed to do well and scored an amazing 80 runs with a strike rate of 150. So I'm very happy for him. I messaged him just now, and I'm very happy for his performance in the first game today.
I'm sure he'll reply you. I'm definitely sure he'll reply you after he replies to all his girlfriends. Anyway, Samrud, disappointing performance, even though 10 runs. What do you think the mistakes made by SRH?
I think 180 was a bit more runs we would have expected on that track. Even David Warner mentioned during the press conference as well. 180 was a bit more than the past score, and he also mentioned that the first ball of every over was very hard for the Sunrisers Hyderabad. The first ball of every over going to a boundary or a six. So that was very tough for us. And another thing I want to make out here is that I think the batting position of Abdul Samad. I really wish that Abdul Samad could have come up the order even ahead of Mohammad Nabi, because he was striking the ball really well last season as well. So I think they missed the trick there by sending Mohammad Nabi and Vijay Shankar ahead of Abdul Samad. Who knows, maybe if Abdul Samad would have come in earlier, we would have probably won the match.
Charvi, do you agree to this point of Samrud? Because everybody seems to be talking about Abdul Samad that he hit 2 sixes of Cummins.
So again, with T20, it's such an unpredictable format, a format that keeps changing every delivery. A consistent batting lineup sometimes, especially in the format of the IPL, could become a bit challenging. I do second what Samrud is saying, that Abdul Samad could, they could have tried for him to come up the order, but where would you fit him in? You've got Wriddhiman Saha, you've got David Warner, you have Manish Pandey, you have Johnny Bairstow, you have Mohammad Nabi, you've got Vijay Shankar. So to find a spot to fit in Abdul Samad somewhere there on the top would have been a bit of a struggle for Sunrisers Hyderabad. Hence, we saw the kind of batting lineup that we saw today. So that could be a bit of a challenge.
All right. Sahil, we were watching the game after Manchester United won the game. You were a bit relieved. So I want to ask you about Williamson. And you were saying that this is one player who controls the innings of Hyderabad. When I say controls the inning, he's like that player who makes sure that, they are within the chase. Do you think they missed him today?
I was actually stunned when he was not in the starting lineup, because I knew that the the four foreigners would include obviously Warner, Bairstow, and Williamson, and obviously Rashid. But I was stunned when Nabi played. So of course they missed Williamson a lot. He's a guy who doesn't give his wicket easily. We all know how he plays. When a situation asks, he actually hits also a lot. So I think it was a wrong decision to drop him today.
All right. I want to come to you, Salman. For KKR, if you watch their bowling, they have a variety of bowlers from Prasidh Krishna, who's quick. Then you have Dre Russ, who's equally quick. Then Pat Cummins and the mystery boy, Varun Chakravarti. The more I see him, I feel he's going to definitely play for India.
Yes, I absolutely agree with you. They have almost 6 bowlers. As a matter of fact, Harbhajan Singh only got 1 over. He's one of the best bowlers in India. So they have a very, very strong lineup. Yes, Varun Chakravarti will be, I feel very strongly, he will play the coming T20 World Cup. And they have a very, very strong bowling lineup, which is a big asset for KKR for this tournament. So yes, you're right. Chakravarti and all the other bowlers will prove to be a big asset in the coming games.
All right. Samrud, you did mention Abdul Samad coming in, but do you feel that Williamson should be playing ahead of Nabi? When I say, obviously they have to select 4 players. So if they select Warner, Bairstow, Rashid Khan is a must, then they have to decide between Williamson, Nabi or Holder, who's also sitting there. And they also have Jason Roy. So whom would you go for?
I think they will still continue with the same combination, at least for the next couple of games. I think the only question would have been Mohammad Nabi or Kane Williamson, but I think they went for the all-round ability of Mohammad Nabi. But I think somewhere down the line, you will need Kane Williamson. I think the reason why they didn't play Kane Williamson was probably he has a sore shoulder as well, and he did not bat much in the practice sessions as well. That's the reason why they did not pick him. But somewhere down the line, I think definitely Kane Williamson will come in for us. And who knows, he might come in for Bairstow as well. I think the reason why they picked Johnny Bairstow was because of his form in the England series. If you look back at the last year's IPL as well, towards the back end of the tournament, when we started winning around 4 to 5 matches on the trot, it was Kane Williamson and David Warner who played and not Johnny Bairstow. And Wriddhiman Saha was brilliant for us last season. So I think that combination might come in handy. And talking about Jason Holder, I think he'll definitely come in when we go on and play on pitches like Kolkata and Mumbai, where an extra bounce will be handy, and Jason Holder's height with the new ball in his swing and his finishing abilities will definitely come in handy for us. So I think they'll play with the same 11 for the next couple of games, especially on spinning tracks. You will need Mohammad Nabi and Rashid Khan. So I expect them to play with the same 11.
Well said, Samrat. I'm not sure whether they will play with the same 11, but I believe Trevor Bayliss needs you as an assistant because your points are quite spot on. Charvi, just to wind up the show, your quick take about today's game, where the match was won by KKR?
There was a point of time during the game where I thought Sunrisers Hyderabad had it, had all the control, especially the partnership between Manish Pandey and Johnny Bairstow. They were going really well. Perhaps Johnny Bairstow could have resisted himself slightly longer to take the game all the way to the end, though they did bring the game quite close. Again, I think it was a wonderful game to watch from both sides. If you look at it from a cricketing perspective, we saw some really good shots being played across the ground. We had, almost 400 runs that were scored on the track today. So that's a big takeaway from the game. And some really, really big scores. If you look through the scorecard, like we said, Nitish Rana was at 80. Then we had a contribution from Rahul Tripathi at 53. Let's not forget that, just of 29 deliveries. Then we had, a little contribution from Dinesh Karthik of just a very quick 22 of just 9 deliveries. And then, Sunrisers, obviously Manish Pandey outshining with 61 of 44. Johnny Bairstow following him on 55. So if we look at it from an overall perspective, very good, consistent performance with the bat, ball, and fielding. So for any viewer who watched it from a cricketing perspective, like I did, I think it was a win-win, complete win-win from all 3 departments.
Well, let me just introduce you once again, Charvi Bhatt, to guys like Salman and Samrud Raikar. My son definitely knows that she is UAE's women cricketer, has captained UAE, and you know how she speaks, and I'm sure you must have not seen her batting, but if you watch your video clips, you will love watching her play. Thank you very much, guys. It was an interesting chat, and I have to say, this 3 days of IPL has been fantastic. It's been going the same way as it went last year. I hope it doesn't end the same way, as long as we all want a good team to win. But let's see what happens tomorrow, and we'll catch you guys soon. Take care, and take good care of yourselves.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.